going to share a little bit about myself. I do come from a crazy family. My mother was a psychiatric nurse who worked on a drunk or alcoholic ward. My father was a drunk on the alcoholic ward. One day he told my mom, "You have beautiful legs." She married him. She did. So my first joke was, I'm climbing a ladder. I'm 6 years old. Climbing the ladder, and it's kind of shaky, and my dad's holding it. And I am climbing to the roof to get something off of it. As I come down, it's kind of shaky, and I go, hold tight on that ladder because I don't want to have a nervous breakdown. I thought it was hilarious. And I get down, and my dad goes, "That wasn't funny." And I said, "I thought it was." And my mother, being the psychiatric nurse, is how she handled things in the house would be, I have had it, I'm going to the river and I'm jumping in. Okay, go. What are you supposed to say when you're 6? Go, I don't know what to do. As an adult, I too had beautiful legs. And I'm an alcoholic. And I dated alcoholics. And if they told me I had beautiful legs, I married them. We reap what we sow, I think. Is that how we say it? I'm not sure. Anyway, so yeah, it's been, when you have addictions and alcoholism and all of that, you have a rather interesting life if you survive it all. And thank God I have. Just saying. My girlfriend and I had a funny conversation today. We're talking about which one of us is stupider about about what we've done this week. We both did ridiculous things. So of course we're worried about our minds. She was at a fundraiser and turned out she hugged somebody twice. And she didn't realize she had already hugged them. And she thought that was kind of funny. And she did a couple other things that just seemed a little off kilter. So she was hoping that they thought she was drunk and not becoming demented. You know, she was really hoping they just thought, boy, Cindy was drunk tonight. My thing was, we've had a couple of friends pass away, and so we go to the cemetery. And I'm thinking we're going to Cheryl's funeral. And as I'm standing there, we're around the tombstones, and I see this name. I'm like, wow, that's interesting that this tombstone is here, because this is the name of the other friend that will be going to the funeral, that we missed. And I thought, well, it's some coincidence. They both are in the same cemetery. And then they hand me the brochure, and it has Mary's name on it. And I look, and then I look at Denny, and I go, what is going on? He goes, what? And I go, well, I thought we were at Cheryl's funeral. He goes, no, that's next week. And I thought, how do I get so confused? Well, I know what it is. It's my acid flashbacks. I'm not going to have Alzheimer's, and I'm not going to have dementia. I'm going to have flashbacks. And this was a biggie. Let me tell you. Anyway, we made it through that. But speaking of death, I love those Dateline and 2020 shows. The murdered, unsolved murdered. I want to know why they don't have an asshole on there every now and then. Everybody that they have on there, oh, they were perfect. They lit up the room with their smile. They were the best parents, and they went to every grandchild's game. If I get murdered and get accepted on that show, I would be the asshole. So here's how it would go. Elizabeth Vargas would be interviewing my girlfriends. Cindy, what can you tell us about your friend Jay? She was a bitch. God forbid if you're around her drinking or doing cocaine, you couldn't shut her up. Oh, Elizabeth. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know quite what to say to that. Okay. Well, thank you. So, Gail, surely Jay lit up the room. Oh yeah, she did. She did light up the room. One time she was lighting her cigarette and caught her cat on fire. That was exciting. Oh my God, that's horrible. Jackie, I know she had a couple of children. Surely she was a good mother. Oh, Jackie, no, no. If Jay wanted to go out, she would walk down the block and knock on doors just to see if somebody would babysit her kids for the weekend. She wouldn't even know them. That's what kind of mom she was. Elizabeth, my God, she was an asshole. That's how it should be. Let's have some assholes on that show. One of a nice thing that I had happen not too long ago was a young man followed me after a performance. And he goes, wow, now that's a gilf. I said, well, what's a gilf? My daughter says, a grandma I'd like to fuck. I'm humbled. I will go to my grave humbled by that remark. That is the nicest thing anybody has ever said to me. And that's the truth. What do you do? Aging. This aging has some perks. It has some perks. And you know, we have to embrace them. I'm embracing that comment. It was fun. And people, it's funny, I kind of have to change a couple of my routines. I used to start my show with, my friends would say, just why at this age are you doing stand-up comedy? And I go, Betty White isn't going to live forever. Well, guess what? She isn't. I don't know. I shouldn't laugh about that. But I just think that's funny that for a year I've been saying that. Number 2 is I have decided that I do not have to be a redhead. Some of you might already have heard that I don't have hair. I have alopecia, therefore I wear a wig all the time. Well, I needed to get a new one, and when I went, they didn't have the red hair that I like, the shade. So I put on this age-appropriate color. I thought, I kind of like that. You know what? I'm going to let go of the red hair. I'm going to embrace my age. So here we are. But one of my jokes was, if I go missing and I have red hair, are they going to call it a red hair alert? Because if they're looking for silver, they're not going to find me. Now I got to change that joke. What am I going to do? Now I'm going to blend in with everybody. That's a problem for me. I don't like to blend. But it's okay. Hopefully somebody will find me if I go missing. And you have been a great crowd tonight. Thank you so much for being here. And please be careful going home because it's going to be icy. Good night.